Have you ever wondered how you'd organize your world without numbers? Well, today we're going to journey deep into the Amazon to meet the Yanomami people. They have a culture that absolutely thrives with a completely different and honestly a fascinating understanding of quantity. No, really, just take a second and think about that. If you couldn't say 100 or 1,000, how would you get the idea of a large amount across? For the Yanomami, this isn't just some thought experiment. It's how they live every day. And their solution is pretty ingenious. You see, instead of getting hung up on precise, abstract numbers like we do, the Yanomami system is all about context. It's about relative amounts. It's way less about counting and much more about just describing what's in front of you. Okay, so let's look at the actual words they use. Their entire verbal system for quantity is basically built on just three core ideas. First, you have moli, which means one, or maybe two. Then there's yalukupek, which covers a small group, something like 2 to 5. And then you have yalami, and that's their word for many, and it pretty much applies to anything more than 2. Now you're probably thinking, many sounds pretty vague. And yeah, you're not wrong. But that's where nonverbal communication becomes so important. The Yanomami have this really rich language of gestures that they use to give yalami a much more specific meaning. So, for example, to get across what we might call a fair amount, they'll hold their hands together, palm against palm with their fingers spread out. It's this beautiful visual way of representing a many that's still kind of contained and manageable. But when they need to talk about a much bigger quantity, a real lot of something, the gesture changes. They place their hands on their own hair. And what that does is it suggests a number as great as the hairs on their head, something that's just uncountable. This is so cool because it isn't just about communication. It's a completely different way of thinking about large numbers, grounding them in something physical and relatable. So what happens when even gestures don't quite cut it? For the absolute most massive quantity you can imagine, they pair the word yalami with this powerful metaphor straight from their world, like the trees of the forest. I mean, just picture that, an immense, uncountable number. It's such a stunning peek into a worldview where math and poetry are basically the same thing. So here's the obvious question, right? Is a system of one to many just imprecise? Does not having a complex counting system automatically mean a lack of sophistication? Well, the evidence actually suggests the total opposite. Just take a look at their craftsmanship. Anthropologists have been absolutely blown away by these intricate bead aprons that Yanomami women create. We're talking about masterpieces of design, with perfect symmetry, all made without ever counting a single bead. And this just brilliantly shows that precision isn't only a mathematical thing. These aprons demonstrate an incredible kind of precision that's based on spatial awareness, on recognizing patterns, and having this intuitive feel for balance and beauty. It's a totally different kind of intelligence at work. And this unique way of seeing the world, it goes way beyond just counting things. It actually shapes how the Yanomami understands something as abstract as time itself. Think about our calendar. It's a grid, right? 365 abstract little boxes we call days. But for the Yanomami, a year is something tangible. It's a natural cycle. It's the time it takes to get from one harvest of the essential peach palm fruit to the very next one. This whole concept is literally baked right into their language. If they want to say, in a year's time, they don't talk about months or days. They say, a rasha tehu, which translates to the next time the peach palm bears its fruits. Time isn't something you count. It's something you experience through the rhythms of the world all around you. So the big takeaway here is that human intelligence is just incredibly diverse. The Yanomami system is this powerful reminder that precision can be visual and aesthetic, not just numerical. It shows how the world around us literally shapes the way we think, and that there are so many valid, sophisticated ways to make sense of the universe. And that really leaves us with a final, pretty important question to think about. In our world, which is becoming more and more driven by data and analytics, what other kinds of intelligence, what other ways of seeing and understanding are we completely failing to recognize?